So when everybody sets up around us, we have a nurse from the hospital. We convince the hospital, if you will send a nurse to the field with a field kit and do wound care in the field, they won't end up in your emergency room and they won't end up taking a bed in your hospital that they can't pay for. So the nurse comes out and she does wound care, especially on the feet. She gives socks out, new socks, flip-flops, over there they call them slippers. So we have government agencies. Mental health comes out with us. And we have an outreach worker in Lahaina that goes out to all the homeless encampments during the week and makes sure that he's staying on his meds. Make sure that that guy has, hey, I see that you have a VA appointment. Can you get there? Do you need help getting there? So we have one of the positions is an outreach worker. So one of the things that kind of surprised me was during the pandemic, the police were giving out tickets for not wearing masks to the homeless in their camps. It was like, it's a $125 fine, and you have to show up for court if you don't want to pay it. Well, they wouldn't go to court because it's clear down in the middle of the island, and we were up in the West End and down in Kihei. So we actually got the district attorney to send an attorney out and meet with each person, find out if they had a warrant for their arrest because they didn't show up to court, and then expunging all of the records. And I'd never thought of that, but that was like, yeah, I guess, yeah. So the fire and police department come out occasionally. They just show up and they just sit and talk and walk and have lunch and create relationships with the people that they already know on the street. Obviously, we have a chaplain and prayer team. One of the things that is that if a person is really hurting and physically and mentally, it's difficult to talk to them about Christ right away. So if we can get them 3 or 4 steps up and they start to trust us, all of a sudden their ears are a little bit more open to hearing about Christ and how their life could change and that type of thing. So you already know that. We have a small clothing ministry, especially for the women and children. Glasses, we already talked about. Health benefits, SNAP benefits, washer and dryer, the shower. Mental health worker, we actually have somebody from the county mental health that comes out, the social worker comes out with us. It was really interesting when we got all these agencies finally to come out with us after maybe 2.5 years, something like that. The agencies started talking to each other. And they said, I've never met this person from this agency. And they started, having lunch together and being there and talking with each other. It was really interesting that we became the hub for all the social services. And they came out of their buildings. A veterans rep comes out, I think, once a month or twice a month. So it's a street fair atmosphere. Literally, the homeless love coming there. It has changed the whole demeanor of the homeless, especially on the west side out near Lahaina. It's changed the whole community. So they are talking with each other. They're not fighting as much. They're having lunch together. It's not that we don't ever have problems, but we hardly ever have problems. So it's really like a street fair, like you just go to a street fair someplace. We have job search because we have Wi-Fi. And we have a regular route. So every Wednesday it's only 4 hours a day from 10 to 2. We're at Lahaina, and they know we're going to be there, and they count on us being there, and they love coming and being social. So my question is, what part of an outreach would your mission be involved in? So do what you do best. We do the shower and the laundry. River of Life does the food. When they're doing hubs, they have a trader that comes out They haven't added the laundry yet in the ministry that has the laundry. I mean, has the shower trailer, but I think they're going to add that on Oahu now. So whatever your mission does best, if it's food, if it's social services, if it's whatever it is, that's what you should do as part of the outreach team when you put an outreach team together. All right. Questions, discussion, like back and forth.
To keep people alive, like I said, that would be great for us. But most of what we do, one time in the summertime, we set up tents and we give out clothing giveaway. One of our members, she's a healthcare professional, so this past last year we had a community health fair. We had different doctors come in. We had throat and cancer screening, blood pressure, diabetes, classes, drug and alcohol awareness. We did a whole bunch of health. Plus, we also had healthcare kits for people that take care of their immune system. We told them how to keep up their immune system and stuff like that. And basically, it was about keeping your health up. And a lot of people showed up for it, and we had healthy food like granola bars, stuff like that, where they could eat, and fruit and vegetables, where they could keep a healthy diet. Not to have, we didn't have like sugar and stuff like that there for them, where diabetes is basically a health fair. We're doing it again this year, and then most of the time during the summer we do outreach, like we serve food, we give away clothing, we still have our prayer station, more importantly, evangelism. We can't have an outreach without an evangelism station, so we have evangelism, we have prayer and evangelism, so that's mostly what we do throughout the summer. In the winter, we make sure sometimes we may set up chili, soup, coffee. We go different areas of the city. Me being a Sunday breakfast mission, I know where they go. When they leave the mission, I know where they camp out at. So my wife and I, we go out to these areas where I know they're going to be at. And we go out there and we serve soup, we serve chili or coffee, whatever, and donuts in certain areas during the time of the winter time. So basically, we are outreach ministry. We try to do it. Summertime, we're all out. May, June, July, August, September. We just outreach no matter where we go. Just different parts of the city of Wilmington, Newcastle County, period. So,
yeah.
And like I said, when I first saw last year, you told me about the tent. That probably cost like $100,000 to $200,000. When I found out how much that cost, I might just have to talk to my wife and see looking at getting one.
It's fully contained we have propane tanks and instant hot water heater, so we never run out of hot water. We do run out of water, or we do run out of storage space if it's a very busy outreach. One of the things that has recently happened on Maui is the police department has, I don't know why the police department, but they have a medical trailer that's a full clinic, and they use it around the island, and they started coming to our outreaches once a month now. So we have a full clinic coming out, and not just the nurse. So other agencies have seen how outreach is successful there, so they're starting that too. Yes, Lorraine?
I've always appreciated your creativity in figuring out what the needs are and where to go to do it. Years ago, we realized that information was difficult for homeless to achieve, and we established a homeless hotline so that they could call up and get our person operating that homeless hotline would research ways that they could get help that we were not providing or was not available through us.
Right.
And actually be able, we have a number of shelters, and so if there wasn't room in one, they would know where they could go.
Right.
So that's a simple, sure it costs an employee, but that's a simple way
Right.
of doing outreach.
Yeah, and if you do your outreach during the summer, you get to know the people, and then you can use the hotline year-round. So I want to give you a hug. I haven't seen you yet.
I've known this guy for thousands of years.
We're really that old?
Well, it multiplies when you get to my stage.
Yes. Any other discussion, ideas, thoughts, questions?
I have a question. Do you have people come in from the mainland over there and help you out with your outreach ministry in Maui and, say, River of Life?
I don't know about River of Life. We do occasionally. next week, Pineapple, do you all know who Eric is? He's coming over. I have an apartment over there. He's staying at my apartment with his family, and they're going to 2 outreaches and doing ministry work that way. So we don't have a lot of places that we can use volunteers until we have a special event.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of people on there's 144,000 people on the island. And so it's like a big city. Well, medium-sized city.
Well, did you have some techniques to, because we're looking to go into a lot of these areas where we get the community coming in to do outreach right when they do come in, because we get a huge amount that can come from meals, 3 meals a day. We were looking at going in and praying with them. Have any techniques or ways of reaching out and getting more volunteers? Because that's where we're low on bodies.
Well, it's engaging the churches.
Okay.
And I have to say that we haven't done a really good job of that on Maui, but River of Life is doing a great job in that.
And we're starting that. In fact, I'll give you just a little bit of my story. I was serving at church, and I have been, but this is my last Sunday. And this summer, when I'm not otherwise occupied, I'm going to be going around different churches to try to build those relationships. Because our new director has that vision of when they come to our doors, are we giving them just food or clothing, or are we giving them, talking to them, making build those relationships?
Right.
I see a lot of these where we could, if we had the area, we could actually make even more deeper relationships, and this gives me some great ideas.
Okay.
Thank you.
So since River of Life and we are doing basically the same thing, we have gotten together with the River of Life, did a ripple effect with John Ashman, with their board and employees and our board and our employees. And we are now going to get together. We're combining the two. We don't know what that looks like yet. Maybe Rescue Ministry Hawaii or whatever. And we are going to go to every island. We're going to expand to each island all the way around because the homeless are there. The reason that I didn't see the homeless on Maui, we were on the west end in Lahaina, is because they're in the bushes and beaches. And they stay there except for when they need services, and they come in and they go back out. A few of them hang around the banyan tree in the middle of Lahaina, but you generally don't see them until you go on the beaches, and not the beaches where all the tourists are. They're on the beaches down near the harbor and that type. So
I've seen it. Back in 2010, on our 3rd anniversary, in 2017, we celebrated our 10th anniversary. We renewed our vows, and then we went to Maui. Then this year, we took the kids with us. We had to take the kids with us. They enjoyed it. But I noticed when we took a trip to Hana. We went to Hana, and I noticed a bunch of tents along the beach. But they weren't, like you said, they weren't in tourist area, but they were along the beach. I was like, and then they realized that they're homeless people. And I was like, but then again, they never freeze to death.
Right, I've seen that in Oahu.
They never freeze to death.
In Honolulu,
So
I've seen them.
Oahu is inundated
Yes.
with homeless.
Yeah, you don't
Just,
have to look far.
yeah,
We were there 10 days, and I was blown away.
yeah.
So initially, you just did basic street outreach and go to camps to let the word know that you were going to start this up for the homeless itself?
Yeah, it didn't take long. The word spreads quickly, especially like the woman with the eyeglasses. And so then they came and they saw that we weren't, the Latter-day Saints preaching at them, And so then, they started coming, and then they invited their friends. And
It's amazing how fast the word travels.
we call it the coconut wireless over there.
It flies in this town, I can tell you.
Yeah.
One little boom, everybody knows.
one thing that troubles me, and trying to figure out why, is like if every church would come out and step outside their doors and reach out to their communities, it'd be a better community. And especially where I'm from, in Wilmington, Delaware, we got like 300 churches within the city limit. But yet, they're so enclosed, especially and you would think during COVID where people couldn't come in, why not this? Some churches did. A lot of my friends I grew up with became pastors. What they did, they took the church outside. They built a makeshift stage, and they had the church in the parking lot. And people came out, and they had more attendance during COVID than they did when they ever did inside the building. Because I notice a lot of the homeless guys I deal with, I ask them, do they go to church? They say, no, we just go to church here because according to, we have the dad that's in chapel service every night. Either we get better service here than we do in church because people look at us when they come into church, they see we're homeless and they stand office of us. So I tell them, the pastors that I know who are friends with, they don't care what you wear. Because Joel 2:13 said, bring your heart, not your garment. So I said, they don't care what you're wearing. Go there, tell them I sent you, and they will know who you are, and they will treat you as if you were one who has an Armani suit on. So,
When we pull up with it at a church, and we're going to do a presentation that morning, show the 3-minute video, and have a table outside, and we pull up with the trailer, and we open the doors, and everybody can see it, and we set it up with a tent, little pop-up like we do out on the outreach, the donations just start pouring in, and then the churches get involved. So
That's what it takes.
yeah.
And that's where we're
Yes, sir.
definitely heading with ours.
What's the cost of building the trailer with the washer and dryer and showers? What's
So,
the basic?
Basically, $42,000 is what we paid for the 2 washers and dryers and 1 shower, sink, and toilet. It's about $80,000, $70,000 for 2 compartments with showers in them and 3 washers and dryers.
Did you design that, or did you have an outside?
Of course I designed them. I'm an architect. So I worked with the company. I'm drawing a blank right now. And
Indiana.
yeah, in Indiana. So I worked with them and said what we wanted, and they sent me floor plans because they had been doing, but they'd never done the shower and the laundry in the same trailer. So,
We got a shower service that the trailer that goes around the city.
but you can't talk to them when they're in the shower.
Right.
But
When you're washing their clothes, like you said, it takes an hour and a half. You got an hour and a half to talk to them while their clothes are drying. You can talk to them.
That makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
The staff, Mission has a lot of talented staff. If we did that ourselves, with just the trailer unit and purchasing the shower shells and the laundry, that would cut the cost down to half, perhaps?
I don't quite understand your question.
If we built the trailer, had the shell, and did it ourselves,
Oh, do it yourself? Well, it's like building an RV. Would you ever try and build an RV with generator and water and tanks and put everything underneath in the right order and the water heater? And
I'd rather have
I don't-
do it.
I don't think it's wise to try and do it yourself and convert something. Even converting an RV, that they're not set up with a big enough bathroom. One of the things that happened over there, the homeless shelter that has the 72 beds and half of them are empty every night, they decided to do what we did because they got a grant and they needed to spend the money. And if they didn't spend the money, they would lose it. So they built a shower trailer like ours, but it was 28 feet, 40 feet long. It was huge. Well, first of all, the roads over there won't handle that. Second of all, they didn't make any of them handicap accessible, and it was government money. So they had to build a platform and a ramp, and the trailer ended up sitting in their parking lot because they can't take it out because they can't have the ramp. They don't have the ramps, and they tried to get us to take it because we're a nonprofit and we've never been challenged that we don't have handicap access. But the government money, they had to spend it, and they did, and then the trailer's just sitting there. So,
Can't imagine what that trailer costs.
yeah,
40 foot, wow.
yeah, it's huge. And to get a truck to pull it over there, it's just, so.
Massive.
All right. If you have any other questions, I'll be here. Thank you for coming.
Oh, the contractor that built that in Indiana, you had that.
I do. It's called, it's right there.
Right there.
Yeah, it's right there. If I stick out my tongue, you can read it on the end.
Got some names here. Keystone RV Company,
No,
RV Factory,
no,
Lord Motor Coach,
no,
AT&T,
no,
Palomino,
no.
Highland Ridge,
No,
Not Winnebago.
Heartland RV plant,
no,
Braxton Creek, Primetime Manufacturing.
no.
Boy, oh boy.
I'll make an announcement sometime during this week. When my brain kicks in.
Oh,
I really appreciate your insight. You
yeah,
gave me
a lot of great information.
I have your website keyed into my computer.
The handouts. So if you want to know how Honolulu is doing it, River of Life, I think this one-page synopsis that I printed up for you guys tells you everything. You know, what is a hub?
I read this.
So, and then this is just an education on Hawaii. Hawaii is the most isolated place in the world. It's in the middle of an ocean.
Yeah.
It's the most isolated place in the world. And this is written by Paul Gates, who is the executive director there. And this was an article I wrote, thinking outside the box. This was during the pandemic. And so this was an article I wrote, and I just thought that even if you got the magazine, it would be a nice refresher, which you wouldn't get the magazine because it was with Citygate.
I appreciate your insight. A lot of ways to think outside the box.
So during the pandemic, our church was meeting in a school. We'd been there 5 years when the pandemic hit. And of course, the school closed and we couldn't meet at the school. And so we started, I live in a rural farming area, ranch area, and we started meeting on people's ranches. And we had 150, 200 people show up. And so you had to have a pretty big ranch and pretty big fields and that type thing. And then we ended up buying a vineyard, 62-acre vineyard. Has a wine tasting room on it, and that pays our mortgage. We rent it out to them, we lease it out. So they have that, and then we lease out the vines to another company that makes wine. And so between the two of them, it pays our mortgage. We put up a 3,200 square foot tent. You were talking about meeting outside. And we have been meeting outside for the last 2.5 years. And there's only been a few days that we can't meet. We've created an outdoor kids area. It's as opposed to a Sunday school building. And the kids area is 3 fenced-in lawn areas with storage containers that open on the side, and that's the stage, and all the stuff is in there. And so we put everything in there to keep it clean and keep the spiders off it. And on Sunday, put everything out, and then just put it all back in there. So we have adapted to what we needed to do to stay in business, and everybody loves it. There's probably, on any given Sunday, there's 24 dogs, and everybody brings their dogs, and we never have a problem with dogs fighting. And the kids can stay with the parents, or they can go to the kids area, or it's family oriented. We have as many people outside the tent as inside the tent. We take off the sides during the summer, and people just sit on the lawn around it, and on blankets on the ground, and it's really fun.
We're trying to do a kind of a different twist on a cowboy church, but very similar. That's what you're talking about. It's an outreach, that a movement that has been happening, and I'm into horses. We run a horse camp for our for our region church camp, and we're looking to branch out in the horse ministry and do that, and to do a cowboy church type situation. So, wow, some great ideas. Thank you.
My wife's a horse trainer.
Oh, really?
And used to do summer camps.
Right.
Sleepover
That's
for a
what
week.
We do. Yeah, we do the week, 2 weeks in Dayton Oaks over here by Fort Dodge.
So in my community in the valley where we live, just behind Santa Barbara, is where Michael Jackson's Neverland was.
Oh, wow.
And so the lawsuit, or the trial that he went through, when he said, "Oh, I allow all the kids to sleep in my bed," our insurance went so high we had to give up summer camps. One little sentence. I let all the kids sleep in my bed. Oh.
Sad.
From 2021 to now, you even expanded.
Right.
2021, I never heard of this one over in Hawaii.
River of Life.
Never heard of it until I see it.
So they were doing 3 hots in a cot, like, I mean, just 3 hots. And at one point, Jack Stankus was there. Remember Jack Stankus? Do you remember them? Anyway.
What's the last name?
Stankus. Yeah. So he was there. He was the director, and he wanted to buy an old World War II barracks for the women and children. It was up in the middle of the island on the only natural lake in Hawaii. And the board wouldn't do it. They wouldn't raise money for it. And that was back in 80-something. So that's how long I've been working with River of Life. And now this new director, he is just on fire. He is so full of energy. He just, yeah.
It looked like he's got a pretty interesting backstory.
Yeah.
You're born in Papua New Guinea. And
No, that's Paul.
Oh,
That's River of Life. Yeah.
Oh, that's different.
No, I was born in Santa Barbara.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, got confused.
How many border, stacks did you say you had in one of those?
What's that?
How many washer dryer stacks?
2, just 2. Yeah. We can do, on a 4-hour outreach, we can do 12 to 15 loads.
There are 2 companies that make them currently, Porta Clean and Portable Restroom Trailers.
Yeah, I'll get the name of it before we leave.
You can get them, I found something, you can get up to like 8,
Right,
you know, how many stacks you want.
right. But it's having the 2. You know, the women really love our private sterilized hot water shower.
Yeah.
They go in there just, you know, you've seen them, and they go in and they come out. We let them stay longer than the men because they have to wash long hair and all that stuff, and they come out just radiant. It's transformed.
We have Shower Up Huntsville, and they have a trailer, they go into camps once a week. With showers, we don't have anybody doing laundry. It'd be great to, kind of like you said, partner with what we can do. We've already got a shower trailer in town, do a laundry trailer, and then we both just go together, and he does theirs, and we do ours.
Yeah, and you start the circle and you grow it, and yeah. So, by the way, I happen to like to surf. I've surfed for the last 64 years, and so I kind of like Maui. So when we were over there, that initial trip doing the remodel on the church, it was Halloween, and there's a street, front street in Lahaina that's a mile long, and it's the tourist street, and they close it down, and they bring every policeman and every fireman and every paramedic there, and they all block off the streets, and they have a parade, and everybody gets dressed up, and they just go, and it's a mile long, and so they just do the thing, and everybody's, you know, everybody's dressed up. Well, we didn't know that that was happening, so I was dressed like this, you know, just shorts, flip-flops, and a Hawaiian shirt. So we went down, the 6 of us went down to see what was going on, and it was alcohol-free, no open containers and all that stuff. And so we joined in the parade. We're walking along, and this tall, college-age guy in a crazy outfit comes by, and he's walking next to me, and he looks down at me, and he goes, "What are you dressed as?" And I was like, I said, "Social Security recipient?" He thought that was really funny. He says, "Oh, that's good."
When I was there in 2003, I saw the surfers in Maui. I said, "Nah, you ain't get me up there to do that." On our 10th anniversary, I said, "I'm gonna try it." My wife was like, "Don't you dare!" I said, "Well, I got to do it." I said, "I at least got to try at least once." So I had a trainer that showed us how to do it. But we were there more than we did. We spent 2 weeks on our 10th anniversary. So I went out there. He said, "Just take it easy that time." So I went out gradually to elementary. So for some reason, I don't know what got into my head. I figured I'd go out with the rest of them. And when they were way out there, and I was going to go for a walk, and then a big wave went, boom! Knocked me up, and I went straight down. I was down in the water, and now I'm come back up looking for my surfboard. I can't find it nowhere. Next thing I know, another wave came and it hits me in the back of my head. Boom! And I go down again. But it was funny at the time. It wasn't funny at the time, but then maybe I could show it was funny, but I enjoyed it.
Yep. Yeah,
I'm thinking
I enjoy
escape
watching the
rope.
tourists just get wiped out. Just get wiped out.
So do you guys get a lot of kids too that come?
Very few.
Very few.
So my wife has just reestablished a friendship from when she was in junior high in Southern California with horses with another girl, and reestablished a friendship. And come to find out that lady's sister lived on Maui. Well, she was homeless on Maui and had a little child. And so we think they came to the outreach. They remember the girl's name and the little girl's name. And then she had cancer and she was dying. And so they were at the beach. They were living on the beach. And another couple came with a little girl that lived on Maui. And the little girls got along well. And they found out the story about the mom. And they ended up adopting the little girl before the mom died. And so we think they came to our outreach in Lahaina. We're still trying to put all those facts together, but and now we're helping that friend from junior high. We're going to move her and her